Our next guest is a talented actor you know best from his work on Sons of Anarchy and movies like The Gentleman and Pacific Rim. You can see him next in Monster, the Ed Gein story. All 8 episodes are available on Netflix October 3rd. Let's take a look.
Hello? I didn't want you to come in here. Sorry, Bobby. We out deer hunting and we lost our bearings. I was wondering if you couldn't tell us the best way back into town. What? You shouldn't be watching this.
Please welcome to the show, Charlie Hunnam.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I want to talk about the show, but you were also, you were at the Emmys. You presented a couple weekends ago. How was your Emmys experience?
You know, I'm in a strange phase of life right now. I feel like my life's turned into an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay. That's usually not great to experience in real life.
It could have been better.
Okay.
It could have been better. It started out great, as catastrophes tend to. I was there invited to present Best Lead Actress in Anthology or Limited Series, and you know, you go into the room and it's just like this giant room filled with the most beautiful and talented people in Hollywood.
It's a great room to be in.
And so I was just there enjoying it, you know, sort of soaking it all in. I got a tap on the shoulder and I turned around and it was Gary Oldman, who is
really
obviously one of the greatest of all time. And he said, "Listen, I'm sorry to disturb you, mate. My wife and I have been discussing it and we think you should be the next James Bond."
I mean, high
which
praise.
Is like
high praise.
Yeah, I'm not
really
ashamed
good.
to say
it's really good.
one of the great moments of my life. And
so you undersold it. This night's starting great.
It started great.
Yeah.
And then it came time for me to give my award out. And they come and get you. You're sitting there. You know how it works. And so I'm walking through this giant room filled with all of the most beautiful and successful people in Hollywood and just start to get the fear, start to realize, oh, right now I'm going to have to go and speak in front of this room. So I just start sweating, and I get a tap on the shoulder. And I turn around, and it's Parker Posey. And
again, good taps.
I know who Parker Posey is.
Yeah, of course, everybody does.
Right, you'd think. But in my blacked out state of anxiety,
Oh, no.
I thought she was Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, I'd literally just finished watching White Lotus, so there's no real forgiving this.
Yeah.
And they don't look similar at all.
No.
And yet, that was the mistake I made. And to make matters worse, I just worked with Julia Louis-Dreyfus' son, Charlie Hall.
Yep.
So I said super confidently to Parker Posey, "Great to meet you. I just worked with your son." To which she said, "Oh, honey, I don't have a son."
Great.
And that was the moment that I caught up with reality.
Yeah, you're starting to put the pieces together now. Yeah,
I put the pieces together.
Classic James Bond, figuring out the situation.
Right, exactly. So there's this horrible, horrible silence. And Parker, being the beautiful, generous person she is, she took my hand and said, every moment is a new moment. Just so kind, let me off the hook. To which I said, if you had a son, he would be lovely. And she just looked at me like, wow, you're an imbecile. 10 seconds after this, like, miraculously terrible interaction, I go out onto stage and just stutter, can't remember my lines, disaster. And Kristen Milioti wins, which is awesome.
Like, she is. She's fantastic. She was great. Big fan of hers here.
I voted for her.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted her to win this award. I was so stoked. But what I'd noticed was that some people opt not to hold the award while they're giving their speech.
They're hefty.
It's like 25 pounds or something. So she gets up and I say, congratulations. And I say, would you like this? Or do you want me to hold on to it? And this is the moment. You see, because she's smiling here. But what she's thinking is, wow, this guy's an imbecile. So then I get back to my chair and Gary's just disappointed. Like, wow, you really blew it. And I sit down, and my wife just goes like, it wasn't supposed to be funny. So, yeah.
Look, it happens. I'm assuming that have you been mistaken for other actors in your career, though?
Last night.
Okay.
Wait until you hear this. So I got in a taxi about 9 o'clock. Lovely guy driving the taxi from Punjab. I spent a bit of time in that neck of the woods. So we're chatting, having a nice time. And he starts to think maybe he recognizes me, but he's not quite sure how. So he asks my name, and I tell him my name. And then he decides to Google it, but like through video search. And his phone is connected with Bluetooth to the speakers of the taxi. And the taxi and the speakers are cranked to full blast, maximum decibel. And the video he chooses to watch is titled, What Happened to Charlie Hunnam? I swear to God. And it's this like harrowing, tragic tale of all of my biggest failures, both personally and professionally. And he doesn't turn it off. He just sort of keeps giving me like sympathetic looks in the rear view. And thankfully, it was a short ride, so I get out, and the last thing I hear as he drives off into the night, echoing through the streets of New York, is then came the spectacular box office failure of King Arthur. And so, I get out, and I'm alone on the streets, just like forlorn and feeling pretty bad about myself. And this guy goes, holy moly, it's really you. I went, oh, okay, here we go. He said, I love you. I just think you're so talented. I'm like, this is really what I needed. You've no idea. So he said, can we take a picture? I said, of course, let's take a picture. We take a picture. I give him a little hug. And he turns around as he's walking away and says, I just loved you in Robin Hood. I'm not in Robin Hood. I guess he thought I was Taron Egerton. So...
Oh my God.
Things happen.
I just hope they add this to the What Happened to Charlie Hunnam, because this is...
Right.
It's just like a coda.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
This is the sequel.
By the way, congratulations. This is fantastic. Ed Gein, you completely had to transform your body for this role.
I did.
I mean, this is not somebody... you're not an Ed Gein type, thank God. Did you have to put yourself through the ringer to get in a place to play, obviously, a very dark character as well?
I put on some pounds, and so I had to lose about 30 pounds or so. Yeah, no, it was a vibe.
Yeah.
It was a vibe. I had a haircut, which you just saw, which it's hard to navigate the world with. I got into the, oh my God, I got into the elevator one night. I was staying at the Four Seasons in Chicago, and lovely, really.
Yeah, very posh hotel, very
posh
nice.
hotel. And we work late, it was about 11 o'clock at night, and these two really elegant, well-to-do people are in the elevator. And so I think, like, they look really lovely. Let me just, like, strike up a little conversation. Just, easy going, little, regular chat. I said, hey, how's your night going? And they look at me, and then they sort of looked at each other. And then they looked at the ground and just didn't say anything. And I was like, wow, rich people really suck.
Yeah.
Like, that's so rude. And then I got up to my room, and we may have even just been shooting that scene that we just watched. I had like blood all over my face and all over my hands, and a serial killer haircut.
Yeah.
So
they actually acted appropriately. Looking back.
they thought I was.
That's like when you
them.
check in, they're like, if you see a serial killer in the elevator, just look down.
Right.
Don't engage.
Right.
Hey man, congrats on the show, and it's so wonderful to have you here for the first time. I've been a fan forever. You guys, Charlie Hunnam. Great, man. Appreciate it. All 8 episodes of Monster, the Ed Gein story, premiere on Netflix this Friday, October 3rd. Stick around. Be right back with more Late Night.